Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Parenting Upstream. We're so excited to be here. My name is Joy Blackburn. I'm the director of the Empower Youth Network. It's a local organization that works for supporting youth in terms of their resilience and coping strategies and anything that helps them thrive. I also am a faculty member in the clinical mental health counseling program at Seattle University. But all of that aside, I'm a local parent in the Issaquah School District, and excited to hang out with my friend Marcelle Waldman and do these little impromptu video recordings for your listening pleasure. How are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I am having actually a pretty great morning despite the grayness that came over us today. I was a little happy to see that sun, but I know we're just looking at we're just looking at each other from across the valley, right?
Yes, exactly. I am looking toward your location.
Yes,
That's true.
yes. Yeah. So I'm Marcelle Waldman, and I have a bachelor's in elementary education, former kindergarten teacher, preschool teacher, preschool director. And I'm a mom of two. I have an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old, and everyone's about to have a birthday this month. So we're going to get into that in a minute. But
that's right. When is your birthday? Your birthday is?
So mine is the 26th. My son is the 28th. And then I guess my daughter is April 18th. So we're all right here. Yeah.
Yeah. And I told you I'm the 24th.
Yeah. So that's, hence our topic that we'll tell in a minute.
That's right. Our topic of celebrations.
Yeah. That's right. So I am also a small business owner of FeelLinks, which is a social emotional resource for kids that includes,
so awesome.
I have lots of resources now on my website. So some free resources to use at home, along with the journal that I created and the plush dolls. And I write, a weekly newsletter and blog that are really focused around, how we can be supportive and helpful to our children in times of need or crisis or, traumatic situations or even the happy and great times. So that's a little bit about me.
Nice. Very cool. And we can see your little plush dolls behind us. They're so awesome. If you haven't seen her stuff, please visit her website. It's absolutely amazing. Great stuff. Has just the hearts of children at the core of all that gets created, which is pretty cool. So as we talked about last time in February, we were talking about love and kindness and grace and all those things. I'm as usual, decided on a topic at the end of our discussion, and we wanted to talk about celebration. So we kind of expanded a little bit. We also wanted to acknowledge a celebration today, right?
That's right. So today is actually International Women's Day. So we get to celebrate all the amazing women out there. And, I think that's an everyday all the time, but I do love these sort of special celebration occasions where we can just really take time to focus. I was on my drive to school this morning with two, a 10-year-old and a 9-year-old. And I told them, hey guys, guess what? Did you know today was International Women's Day? And they were like, yeah, that's so cool. And one of the boys said, yeah, on some video game he was playing online yesterday, everything was free and everything was all about women and like women tools and things. Like he's like, yeah, it was the same stuff, but they said it was for International Women's Day and everything was free. Like, I don't know, I guess you have to use some sort of currency in these games, but it's just really neat. And then we talked about how they might say something to their teachers today because they happen to both be women. And they were like, yeah, and my son, Jack, was like, that's just so cool. He goes, oh, I wonder if Roblox will have that, So like, well, or Minecraft. He said, I wonder if Minecraft will have that. So anyways, I really just wanted to quick read the front of the International Women's Day website, because I just love what it says. And I think it encapsulates sort of like what is today really about. And it's about 365 days of the year worldwide, but it says, imagine a gender equal world, a world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination, a world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive, a world where difference is valued and celebrated. Together we can forge women's equality collectively. We can all break the bias, celebrate women's achievement, raise awareness against bias, and take action for equality. And I just love what that said, and I thought it just was poignant and just collective in its words. So
yeah,
celebrate
absolutely
women.
Inspiring for every day, every single day.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So we thought we'd start with that this morning, and
it's a great way to start.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
So thinking about celebrations, I kind of sat and started to think about some of the clinical aspects of celebrations and how we use and create the idea of reverence and power within celebrations. Working with young people in residential facilities, we took advantage of the opportunities to celebrate changes in status and movement to different levels of care. And they often involved coins or rocks or just tokens of that. And it really got me thinking, talking with my students recently regarding kind of youth engagement from a group standpoint, the interesting nature of that, because these are really just inanimate objects. And however, by associated them with these celebrations and creating a space of reverence, they become powerful, right? You see people in self-help groups and in recovery-oriented systems often will have like a coin or some physical representation, right? It's almost a culmination of everything that they've worked hard to do in this one little piece. As a recovering person in Narcotics Anonymous, we receive key tags and coins, for yearly celebrations, and they are just unbelievably powerful. And so it's fun to think, how does that power get created and generated? And so thinking about the process of celebrating and inspiring others in that process I was excited to kind of think critically about all that stuff.
Yeah, it's actually really inspirational to hear you talk about that from a personal perspective too. But, I have watched others go through the recovery, and it is really a special, way to really celebrate and have that just tangible piece, because really it's all that internal, right? It's all the internal drive, it's all the internal work, and it's a lot of work every day, 24 hours a day. But, like we talk about reward systems and things, even as adults or, our teenagers, those things are really meaningful when they have meaning to them. And being able to look at that and celebrate that every day for yourselves is really an amazing, thing to be able to do. So thank you for sharing.
Where else do you see celebrations kind of coming in and being valuable?
Coming from a standpoint of having been an educator, I think that we as teachers we work so hard to do, all the things that we want to do for our school, our children, our families, ourselves, our community, our colleagues. And so I think it's really important from that standpoint to really work on celebrating the small things for the people in our workplaces, whether it's, like I said, whether it's being an educator and, celebrating, what might have happened better with a child that day, that maybe the day before was really rough and difficult. And there were, something that didn't go well, and today it did. And being able to look at the future and being able to, celebrate those small pieces. And even if that's, it doesn't, like we said, it doesn't have to be necessarily a tangible thing, but even just someone saying to you, the word, it helps you feel that celebratory feeling of like celebrating something that you worked really hard that day, or you killed that lesson you gave, and so I think it's really neat, like I was saying, in an educator setting, to really think about even the leaders in our educational, settings, our principals or vice principals, and really taking time to like celebrate those educators. They are really like, it's been a rough go, right? And so we really need to put that into practice. And if you're out there and you're a parent, I'm telling you, it's the small things, even if you write a card or a sticky note, like just celebrate what your teachers have done for your children this year. Last year, we send them to our kindergarten teachers, I'm not joking, like, so I think it's really important in all places where we're working, where we're living with our own family, right? Celebrating those, it doesn't just have to be the birthdays, like celebrate the stuff that my husband, for instance, like he put a Post-it note in my, on my, near where I leave the door every day. And it just said, like, I believe in you and I'm really proud of you. And literally 2 days ago, he went in my purse to find something and he's like, I love that you kept that note. And it's like, I did keep that note. Like, that was such an amazing celebration of the hard work I'm putting into, the things I'm doing. So just, celebrating each other for the small things, or even the big things, but just looking at ways we can do that, I think is really important.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really related to the resilience stuff that we talk about pretty consistently, and growth mindset stuff is that we're rewarding those efforts and those opportunities to work hard or manage adversity. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be about the accomplishment, but what happened to get there, because that's the stuff that we want them to be repeating, right? So for young people, right, wow, you really worked hard on that. And focusing on the efforts that they expended to get there. Yeah, I love that.
And just thinking of like, goals with our kids, and we're talking about resiliency, right? Like it's those small little facets that get put together that get you to like maybe what the ultimate is. And even if you don't actually get there, those small steps on the way are worth celebrating. And we talk a lot about those intrinsic like celebrations, motivations, those things that, but your kid, if it's an M&M because they use the toilet correctly, then it is, and celebrate it, right? But if it's your words or your connection with them, or sitting down to write them a note and put it under their pillow, there are ways to celebrate our family members, and especially for our children. We did just have the huge privilege of taking our children to Disneyland. And it was the first trip that our family's taken in a very long time. And it was medicinal. And it felt like the celebration of like getting, out of the house and just letting our kids just kind of like be free birds. And we loved it. We enjoyed it. We got to see some family, and, it felt like a celebration, like things are starting to go somewhat back to normal. And, there's been a lot of hard stuff. So it was neat and very, like I said, it was a huge privilege to be able to do that, but it was very special.
Yeah, I appreciate you talking about the privilege that we have in terms of being able to do stuff like that. But thinking about, what our young people respond to. I love how you say that, is because every young person is different. And so that reward system or those celebrations can be, can be very individualized. My little person, who's not so little, but I always think about them as little, right? It really is like just appreciative text messages and celebrations of things that he does and how he does it, and the things that I see in him internally, right? So that he gets comfortable. And I notice the discomfort he has in being gifted things and handed, and I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if he's uncomfortable with what it represents, but he kind of struggles occasionally to accept them. And it's just like, it's okay.
We're big on like the notes of celebration, and we use like our gratitude jar. And I think we put lots of family celebrations into that. And that's kind of a fun way that we do that here. And then we read them at the beginning of the year, which is really neat. I loved it. Like this year was so much, it was just really different in a meaningful way after the year we had. So it's kind of fun, like, I can write that celebration down and we can put the date and remember that, so
very cool.
That's kind of a cool way to do it too.
That is very cool. Yeah, we definitely have we have silly, odd traditions. Like Oh, he is so good at this. He is so calculated in his approach, but this might sound odd, but the stickers on apples,
Oh,
he
yes.
takes them off and
Uh-huh.
puts them in very specific locations that you
Yes.
won't find for months, like
Oh,
total
that's
long game,
funny.
right? So we do
Yes.
that all the time.
I
Anything that
love
he
that.
owns, I put stickers on stuff and he's like, oh, you
Uh-huh.
got me. And then the sticker goes
Oh,
somewhere
oh,
else.
that's
And
so fun. I love
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
100%.
Not necessarily a celebration, but definitely a long-term game.
Oh,
Um,
totally. Like, and that's fun in
yeah,
and of itself, right? I
yeah,
love that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, those are
pretty,
the special, kind of things that we could do and create with our families though, that are just, they're our thing and that's fun. I mean,
yeah,
we do what we used to do when I was growing up and hide behind the wall and scare someone, not a celebration either, but that was,
yeah.
somehow my kids picked that up. I'm like, I don't
Where
remember
did they
doing that
get that?
too,
Hmm. Don't
they
know,
hide in the
right?
pantry, like shove themselves in there. And yeah, so pretty funny. But
It is
um,
funny.
and we also, like we said in the beginning of this, we have lots of birthdays this month for
That's
us.
true.
And yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Anyone else in your
absolutely.
family and your household with a birthday this month?
Isaac's older sister is in April, but I'm
Okay.
in March. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
it's birthday week. I will be
Yeah.
celebrating for the entire week.
Yes. We will be having, yeah. And my son's so sweet. He's like, we have to do your celebration on your day. We can't have my celebration on your day. And it's like, well,
Yeah, they
that's
need to
really
be
thoughtful,
so.
buddy. But a Saturday is a Saturday. So that's what
Exactly.
your birthday's on a Monday. So my
Yeah.
celebrations sort of, I felt like went a little bit to the wayside when I had a child 2 days after my birthday, which is
Yeah.
fun
No,
because I
that's
will,
yeah.
I just get one more year older. He gets, his little buddies. And so that's fun.
That's
But
true. That's very, very
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I was trying to think what else did we want to share about in terms of celebrations and rituals and how they can like support resilience
Yeah,
and
I think, just
growth.
thinking forward to the idea of like that self-compassion and while we may be striving for something or our children may be striving for something and they might not hit that like you said before, I think we really need to help them focus on like the effort and celebrate the effort that was put in and having compassion for themselves when it doesn't work out the way that they intended it to. Even our littlest kids to our 17 and a 3/4-year-old kids, I think it's really important that we instill that idea of, you know we might have tried everything we could and maybe we didn't attain that goal, but let's celebrate the milestones along the way and celebrate the effort that you put into what you were doing. My daughter went and took a test and didn't do as well as she had hoped, but you know what? I said, you did everything that you knew and I am so proud of you, and celebrate the fact that you did what you needed to do. And then she got a small retake and did even better, which is great, right? So
Sure.
just she put that goal and she put that drive into herself, and then she came home and I got I told me online what her score was, but I waited for her to tell me. And then we celebrated the fact that she put one more night of studying in and she pushed herself to really
Yeah.
what she was hoping to do better, and she did, and that's great. But if she didn't, like, she put everything into it that she needed to. And so
Yeah.
I celebrate the fact that that is an important step for our children, that we must put more stake in that, into always finishing that end goal and waiting to celebrate it, because I think
Yeah.
that's
I
too long.
agree.
Our kids need that connection with us, knowing that we're there, we're watching, and we're noticing. And
Yep.
yeah, so I think that would be my biggest as a parent for our children as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They become products of that support system, and then so they're internally motivated, they're intrinsically rewarded.
Yep.
All of those things are things they take with them. It's not external, because if it's external, it stays here when they go
Right.
out. And and that's not super valuable, right? Yeah,
we're trying
absolutely.
to remember that we're trying to raise these resilient and wonderful,
Adults.
human beings to go off into adulthood. And if we keep doing it all, yeah.
It's frightening.
Yeah. So
frightening.
I know it is. It is.
Yeah. Very cool.
So speaking of resilience, did you want to tell us a little about what we're gonna,
Yeah, we wanted to share real quickly. So my organization, the Empower Youth Network, is hosting its second annual Resilience Rising Conference. And we'll put information wherever we post this, and it'll be part of the blurb on our YouTube channel. But we wanted to invite you to join us. It's March 25th. That's a Friday. It's 8 to 4. Lots of great speakers. 5 clock hours for educators, so you can get continuing education hours. Nominal registration fee. Lots of great speakers. You will be presenting a workshop. Do you want to tell a little bit about what workshop you're doing?
So being that I really focus a lot on emotional intelligence in kids, my workshop is going to be really about the connection between emotional intelligence and resilience and how these pieces work together for our children. And I've been working on some fun stuff for that. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it. And I feel really honored to get to be part of the conference. So yeah.
Good. Yeah. We're so excited that you would join us. Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah. I'll be in your workshop, unless our workshops are at the same time. I didn't look at I'll worry about that when it comes.
Right.
And I will be presenting a workshop on whole child development and resilience, celebrating kind of the nature of staying in the middle between what we value in terms of success, academic structures versus social emotional learning, and how we can create a space in the middle so that our young people are successful regardless of where they travel to, because they have all the internal skill sets that they need, and how we might go about that. We'll talk a little bit about multi-tiered systems of support and what those look like in terms of all the systems that we engage out in the world. But lots of great speakers. Please check out the platform and see what you think. We would love to have you join us. And I don't think we have a topic for April.
I don't think so either. Uh-oh.
It's spring, supposedly.
I know.
But I don't know that that's a topic.
It's not looking like it right now, but
no. All right. Well, we'll talk offline. We'll try to figure out a topic, and we'll go from there. So yeah. So thanks everybody for joining us.
Yeah, and celebrate all the good things, people. It's a good feeling for all of us. So
absolutely. Write some notes to some people you care about today. Stick them all over things so that they get really frustrated with you doing that. And we'll see you in April if we don't see you on our social media channels and everywhere else. So awesome. Thank you, Marcel. Great to see you.
Very good to see you.
Bye.